So at this point, we will be recalling once again what is that secants and what is that tangent. So kung nai-recall natin, ang secant is actually a line that intersects a circle at exactly 2 points. So from our drawing here, our AB here, the line AB here is a secant. If you want to know the content or the portion of that secant, meron siyang tinatawag na chord, which is the internal part of our secant. Yan, ito yung chord natin, which is the portion of our secant. We also have the tangent. As you notice, a tangent is RT there. Tapos, ang tangent, kung i-define natin, it intersects a circle at exactly 1 point. Ang kaisa-isang point na ito ay kung tawagin ay point of tangency, or sa ibang book, malalaman mo na point of contact ang katawagan din sa kanya. So, dalawang bahagi ang ating i-discuss. Mauna muna tayo dito sa mga length of segments na nabubuo out of secants and or out of tangents. Later on, may mga nabubuong mga measures din na angles kapag nagko-combine ang secants and tangents. So, medyo malawak ang discussion ng mga susunod. Umpisa natin sa length of segment. Sa length of segment, meron muna tayong kailangang i-define. Meron din tayong tinatawag na tangent segment. Kasi pag sinabi mong tangent lang, you are referring to line na walang katapusan. You cannot measure it because that is infinite in nature. Okay? Pag sinabi mo naman, didikitan mo ng salitang segment, ibig sabihin nito, kinukuha mo lang yung portion ng ating tangent from a certain point. So if you want to know a tangent segment, you will start at a certain point of tangency and from a certain point dun sa ating line. So for this, we are given tangent segment TB, okay, or segment tangent in other book. Meron din tayong tinatawag na secant segment. Dito sa secant segment natin, it is also part of our secant. Pero maaring dalawang bahagi ang secant segment natin. Nakadepende kung nasa loob ba or nasa labas ang ating pinag-uusapan. Kunwari dito, we are given secant AR dito, or pwede mo ring tawagin secant AB provided na magbanggit ka ng dalawang letra na napapaloob or nadadaanan ng ating line. So from that, meron tayong dalawang identified secant segment yan. Isang internal at saka isang external. From our drawing here, yung AB natin, okay, so AR is a secant segment in nature from here up to here. Pero sa secant segment na yan, meron siyang tinatawag na internal part, which is AB, and meron siyang external part, which is BR. Again, AR is a second segment, pero sa second segment na yan, na-divide into internal part at saka external part niya. As simple as that. Which is different from tangent segment na na-mention natin kanina. Through example, maintindihan mo kung paano kinukuha ang mga length ng segment natin. Umpisa natin sa two intersecting chords. Chords are portion of our secant na pwede natin ilagay na lang as chord. May mga mamimension tayong theorems dito na bibigyan natin ng proving sa susunod na discussion natin because ang competency ng ating week 5 and week 6 ay may napapaloob din na proving theorems involving secants and tangents. So kailangan mong bigyang hustisya yung 2-column proof natin sa mga susunod na araw. So with that, kung meron tayong intersecting chords, may nabubuong product of measure ng mga segments nila from one chord and then the other chord. In short, if you want to verify our letters here, nagkakaroon tayo ng product AMBM. Sa isang chord dito, napansin mo, meron tayong AM, meron din tayong BM. Getting the product of that will be the same as the product of DM This is our DM and our EM. Again, pag may ganang circle na may nakita kang intersecting chord sa loob ng circle, nagkakaroon ng same product of the segments out of the chord or out of each chord. And through example, marirealize mo yan. Lagay natin yung formula doon. Solving for our XD, this one. Isa-solve natin ito. Kung napansin mo yung formula, napakasimple lang. Lagay mo lang yung maaari mong gayahing formula. I-multiply lang natin ng AX at saka XB. Multiply mo lang yung 10 at saka yung nawawala dito. This is the unknown. No, it's not unknown. It is given as 4. So 10 times 4, lalagay natin dyan. And AX is 10. Our XB is given as 4. Our CX will be multiplied to the XD, but the XD is unknown, so bring down natin. Our CX is given to be 9. So you could have 10 times 4, which is 40. You could have 9 times XD, which is the unknown, and you could divide both sides by 9. Later on, mag-arrive ka sa measure ng ating XD or segment XD na 40 over 9, and that's the final answer. 40 over 9 units, because we are referring to certain length and not the area of our circle. So the answer for the XD is 40 over 9. We have another theorem here, theorem number 2, which is 2 secant segments. When 2 secant segments intersect a circle, the segments of the secants, the chord and the whole secant, are equal when multiplied together. So, we are given a circle here wherein meron tayong given na secant PD at saka secant SD. So, from that, makakabuo tayo ng certain product from the segment of one secant. It is equivalent to the product of segments na nandito sa other secant. So, with that, meron tayong formula dito na DP, which is the entire secant segment. This is our DP from here up to here, or basically that's the whole part. And DQ is actually the external part. Maaari nating bigyan ng acronym para hindi mo makalimutan. DS is the whole part of our secant, interested to be W, and you are going to multiply that by the external part, happen to be the RD. So, lagay mo natin dito. Pangit pang pakinggan, pero marirealize mo na ang acronym ay wewe. Okay? Tandaan mo yung kanyang acronym, hindi ka malilito sa formulang yan. Tignan natin sa example na ito. Well, from this given example, we are going to solve for X. Again, bigyan nga natin, ibalik natin yung acronym na nabuo kanina. I-start natin sa whole part ng isang secant. Umpisan natin dito sa unang secant, sa ibabaw na secant. So, we will be using N plus X, which is the whole part. I-multiply natin yan sa external part ng unang secant na yan na nakita natin, which is 8. I-equate natin sa product ng isang secant with the segments na makikita natin. Ano ba yung whole secant na makikita mo dyan? Tignan mo nga kung ano yon. Siyempre, pagsasamahin mo yung 6 at saka 10 para makuha mo yung whole secant natin. We are going to multiply that by the external part of that secant, happen to be the 6. Yan. Kung titignan mo dito, pwede mong distribute ito. Again, this is the external part, this is the whole part, and this is the external part of the other secant. 8 plus x times 8, you can do that by distributive property. So you will have 64 plus 8x here. 6 plus 10 happen to be 16 times 6. Multiply mo lang because nasa-simplify naman ito. 16 times 6, you have 36, carry 3, and you will have 96 here. Bring down natin yung 8x, isubtract natin 96 minus 64, you will arrive at 32. So if you are going to simplify this by dividing both sides by 8, you will arrive at x is equal to 4. So therefore, the value of our x here is equal to 4. Just memorize that formula and hindi ka malilito pagdating sa pag-solve ng two intersecting seconds. Okay? Paano naman kapag ganito ang condition natin? Combination of tangent segment at saka secant segment. This is the only statement behind that one. If a tangent segment and a secant segment are drawn to a circle from an exterior point, so later on, dito sa drawing natin, makikita mo, ito yung tinatawag na exterior point. Then, yung square down ng length ng ating tangent segment, which is this, the square of that is actually equal to the product of the whole part, okay, the whole part of the secant involved and the external part of the secant, which is this, which is represented by these letters out of this figure here. Again, score mo lang yung tangent segment. Equivalent to that is the product of the whole secant times the external part of the secant. Through our example, marirealize mo yan. Again, from this given drawing, we are going to solve for x. Let us try to show the solution of that. You are going to square first the external tangent or tangent segment na kaisa-isa dito, which is 7. We just have to square that. And napansin mo yung ating acronym na WE, which is whole secant times the external part. The whole secant is represented by 5 plus x, and our external part is given as 5. 49 will be brought down. 5 plus x times 5, you will have 25 plus 5x. You can transpose this to the other side. You can subtract the 25 from 49. You will arrive at 24. Okay? Yes, it's 24. And you will have 5x at the right side. And for that, marirealize mo, dividing both sides by 5, you will have that x is equal to 24 over 5. And that's the final answer for the value of our x. Another example regarding that previous theorem. This is something realistic because the figure below or at the right, okay, the figure at the right shows a sketch of circular children's park. Okay, medyo realistic tayo ngayon. We are given a children's park which is circular and mayroon siyang mga different pathways from the main road. So this is the main road, either taken from this area or part. From that main road, kung ang distance daw ng main road papunta sa gate number 2, is our gate number 2 is 75 meters, and ang length ng pathway ng gate number 2 hanggang sa exit is given as 60 meters. So 60 meters daw yan papunta from gate number 2 to the exit. How about from the main road to the gate 1? Ito yung pinapahanap dito. Ano daw yung sukat ng main road papunta dun sa gate 1 na happen to be that is tangent or tangent segment yung road na yan from our children's park or circular children's park. That is possibly, or we could possibly solve that by applying the previous formula. So paano natin gagawin? This is actually the intersection of our tangent segment and our secant segment. So we just have to square. Our tangent segment happen to be represented by MG1 or main road at saka gate 1. So i-score natin yan, nakita nyo dito. Multiplying that, or that is to be equated by the entire secant happen to be from main road up to the exit. Okay? That's the combination. Or pwede nating sabihin na main road up to the gate number 2 and then gate number 2 up to the exit. Or simply main road up to the exit, which is 70 plus 60. Okay? So let us change that already into 70 na lang. We have some mistake from our given information here. So 70 plus 60, and then gate number 2 from main road up to gate number 2 given as 70 also, which is from our acronym external part yung E natin, whole part ito of our second, external segment naman ito ng ating second. So bring down that 70. This is unknown. Again, from main road to the gate 1, still MG1 ang ating representation dito. 70 plus 60 is 130. Bring down the 70. Ito yon. Multiply the 130 and 70. You will have 9,100. And from that, we could square root both sides of our equation. You will arrive at 95.39. And the unit of this is meter. So therefore, if we are going to conclude our answer, the distance from the main road to the gate 1 is 95.39 meters. And analyzing the figure, that is also the same as the distance from the main road up to gate number 3 if you want to solve that also. We could have more theorems involving the length of our segments formed by secants and tangents of our circle. If a line in a plane of a circle is perpendicular to a radius, that line is automatically the tangent of our circle, and that will conclude that the radius is perpendicular to that certain tangent. So through our example dito, marirealize mo kung ano yung purpose kapag may certain tangent na nasa ibabaw ng circle, automatic na yung tangent na yan ay magiging perpendicular sa radius. So once we have that perpendicularity between segments, nagkakaroon tayo or nagagamit natin yung Pythagorean theorem kung tawagin. So our example here is solve natin what is that value of x. Pythagorean tayo. Square the left side, or one of the legs will be squared. That will be added to the square of the other leg. We happen to be the BA, so you are going to square that also, and you will have the combination of x and 8 to represent the hypotenuse of our right triangle ABC here. So with that, we could ask this way, x plus 8, and you are going to square that. So from this given two situations, on left and the right side, we could bring down the x squared, we could bring down the 144 here, which is the square of our 12. At dito naman sa kanang bahagi, we could expand this with a trinomial expression later. So magkakaroon tayo ng x squared plus, if you are going to expand this in a scratch paper, you will have x squared plus 16x plus 64. If you notice the left and the right side, meron siyang x squared and the x squared. We could cancel that already. Yung numbers naman na 144 and 64 will be combined as to become simple computation. Bring down the 16x here. The 144 and our 64 will have a result or difference of, will you try to mentally solve that? You will have that exactly 80. So isulat natin yung 80 and bring down the 16x. So to exactly solving for the x, automatically that your x will be equal to 5. So therefore, the value of our x here is equal to 5 because 80 divided by 16 is equal to 5. More theorems again. Kapag may dalawang two tangents, if you have two tangent segments that is actually touches the circle at exactly exterior point and with their corresponding point of tangency, nagkakaroon tayo ng equivalent segments kung tawagin. Magiging congruent yan. Kagaya nung playground, yung circular playground kanina, yung from main road up to gate or certain gates na nakita natin. So from our example here, since tangents ang mga RS, tangent din ang ating RT, masasabi natin na yung dalawang tangent segment na yan ay congruent. And maaari nating i-represent na yung 3x plus 4 ay equal sa 28. Kaya kung isa-solve natin ng x, magkakaroon tayo ng 3x is equal to 28 minus 4 hanggang sa magiging 3x is equal to 24 hanggang sa ang ating x ay equal to 8 by dividing both sides by 3 natin. And how about this? We will be applying the previous theorem again, but this time it's a far application because we will be finding the perimeter of this triangle ABC. Kagaya ng sinabi natin kanina, kapag may dalawang tangents na nag-intersect at a certain exterior point, yung tangent segment na yan ay magiging congruent. So from our given example here, kung 10 cm yan, automatically this is also 10 cm. If this is 8 cm, meaning to say this is also 8 cm. If that is 15 cm, this is also 15 cm. So adding all of this to get the perimeter of our triangle ABC, you will have 10, dalawang 10. Okay, dalawang 10 plus dalawang 15 plus dalawang 8. So you will arrive at 20 plus 30 plus 16. You will arrive at exactly 66 cm. So therefore, the perimeter of triangle ABC is 66 cm. As simple as that, applying our previous theorem a while ago. So, at this point, this will be the angle measurement now. Kung kanina nag-concentrate tayo pagdating sa kanyang mga segment, but this time, it's all about angle measurement. Theorem number 1. If a tangent and a chord intersect at a certain point on the circle, nagkakaroon tayo ng measure na angle form is half of the measure of its intercepted arc. Given a certain drawing here, to get the measure of our angle 1, that is actually parang inscribed angle din yan, which is actually half of our arc BA dito. As simple as that, kapag may tangent and secant na nag-intersect at a certain point, nagkakaroon ng parang inscribed angle na dalawa na adjacent. To get the measure of our angle 2, just have to get the half of our major arc BCA. BCA. Get the half of that. That will be the solution or the measure of our angle 2 here. Example. Basic lang ito. We will be getting the angle 1. So, angle 1 is simply getting by 1/2 of the 130. Bakit? Because 130 here is the intercepted arc of angle 1. So with that, the 1/2 of 130 is equal to 65 degrees. So that's the measure of our angle 1. From the other side here, we will be getting the red part because we will be solving the red angle or the red arc here. So if this is 125, what is that certain number when you get the half of that, lalabas is 125. So to get the arc or the measure of arc KJL, that is actually half of our 125. So, or the half of that is equivalent to 125. So therefore, you need to take the twice of our 125 here for you to get this arc. Okay, kasi pabalik tayo. Instead of getting the half, ngayon getting twice of that inscribed angle for you to get the measure of the intercepted arc involved sa inscribed angle na yan. So twice of the 125 is equal to 250 degrees. So therefore, this red arc is equivalent to 250 degrees. So let us have another theorem for angle measures formed by secants and tangents natin. At this point, what if our angles belong to inside of our circle? So, paano yon? Kapag meron tayong dalawang chords na nag-intersect sa loob ng circle, we just have to get the half of the sum of the measures of the arcs intercepted by an angle by its vertical angles. So from this given drawing here, to get the measure of our angle 1, ito, we just have to get the sum of our measure of arc AB and measure of arc DC. Okay, this is our AB and this is our DC. Get the sum of that and take the 1/2. Yan yung magiging sukat ng ating angle 1. To get the measure of angle 2, ang mga gagamitin mong arcs is or are measure of arc AD and measure of arc BC natin. So ito yung AD natin at saka yung arc BC natin. So from that, get the sum and take the half. Yun yung measure ng ating angle 2. Through example, marirealize mo kung paano kukunin yung angle na yun. Applying our previous theorem, we are going to solve for the x here. So once again, this is the angle formed by our two intersecting chords. Kukunin natin ito by solving for that x. Ang gagawin lang natin is get the half of the arcs involved that formed by that certain angle, which are 130 plus 156. Magkakaroon tayo ng 1/2. And then you will have 286. So the half of that, will you try to compute that? You will have 143 degrees. So therefore, the value of our x here is 143 degrees. More theorem tayo. At this point, what if our angles form outside of our circle? Pwedeng magkaroon tayo ng tatlong particular scenario dyan. If tangent and secants, or pwede ring maging 2 tangents, or pwede ring maging 2 secants na nag-intersect out of the circle, the angle form outside of that circle, ito yung mga outside of our circle, those angles, the measure of those will be equal to half the difference of the measures of our intercepted arcs. Intercepted arcs involved from that joining the tangent and a secant. Yung mga nabubuo nilang mga arcs ay sinosubtract and then get the half. That is the equivalent of the exterior angle or outside of our circle. And through example, you will then realize how to solve it properly. Okay, applying our previous theorem, we will be solving for the angle x or yung mga unknown dito. Again, to get this x, kapag nasa outside yung angle natin, subtraction yung gagamitin natin para kunin yung half ng difference ng mga measure of arcs na gagamitin natin. So the difference is 178 then minus 76. Sinusubtract parati natin from the far arcs, yung malayong arc which is 178, and then subtract natin sa malapit na arc doon sa unknown na exterior angle na nakita natin. So with that, you will have 1/2, subtract the 178 minus 176, you will have 102 and get the half of that. So therefore, the value of our x is 51 degrees. As simple as that. How about this one? At this given drawing here, the angle, the outside angle formed by the 2 seconds here is located or given as an angle. So therefore, we could have this way that the 30 degrees is equal to 1/2 of the far arc, which is represented by A, subtract by 44. This is our equation. So we could eliminate our 1/2 here by multiplying both sides if you want to, para ma-simplify natin ng maayos. We could multiply both sides by 2. So for that, magiging 60. And we could cancel the 1/2 here. Mag-arrive tayo sa A minus 44. We could bring down the value of A here. We could transpose the negative 44 to the left side. So 60 plus 44, you will have the value of A, which is equal to 104 degrees. So therefore, the value of our A here is 144 degrees. Checking, if you want to solve that, 104 minus 44 is 60, and divided by 2, you will arrive at 30 degrees, which is the angle outside of our circle. So tama yung nakuha nating 104 degrees. Okay, so those are the theorems involving angle measures and segments regarding the expressions or formed by our secants and our tangent. So to end my discussion, I want to end with this quotation. The world is a wheel and it will all come round right. So thank you for listening and I hope you could apply that with the modules na ibibigay sa iyo ng iyong mga guro. That's all for now. Thank you and have a good day.